All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I've been doing a series of video presentations for the Rankin Technical College Application and Web Development AWD1111.NET Framework with Web Databases course. I am in the middle of Chapter 5 for our textbook, ASP.NET MVC with Entity Framework and CSS by Naylor. So far I've gone in and I've gone into our project and we've talked a little bit about sorting and how to sort. And in the second of 3 sections of this chapter, the author is going to go through paging. And we are about to go and add a NuGet package, pagedlist.mvc. All right, and notice the author said I have chosen this as an introduction to paging because it is easy to set up and use. It's definitely not the only paging system available. Not only that, as the author mentions here later in the book, he will show you how to write your own paging code. All right, but let's just take a look at what we've got. So first we need to install it. So we want to open the project menu and go to the Manage NuGet Packages. All right, and we want to click on Browse. And next, as it says here, we want to search for paged list and then install the newest version. There it is. Now again, I always look here and I notice that, wow, they're both by him. And this is version 4.5 and this is 1.7.0. That's a quantum leap as far as jumps go. This has got 1.7 and this has got 2.17. Wow, I'm kind of in a quandary here as far as which one to download. It says install the latest version, currently 4.5. Well, that is it. Click on there, click install. I see some stuff in here. It is installed, so I should be able to close that. Alright, so we've done the install, and it said when you install pagelist.mvc, the pagelist package is also installed. So, once it's installed, the first thing that needs to be modified is the product index view model so that the products property is changed to type iPageList. So we have to modify our view model's product index view model.cs file. And again, the first thing we want to do is come in here and add that using statement. Notice it's currently gray because, again, we haven't done anything with it yet. Then, in our public class, at the beginning of the class, we've got to add this. All right, not gray any longer, as you can plainly see. We now need to modify the index method of the product controller class so that it returns products as a paged list, achieved by using the toPaged method. A default sort order also needs to be set in the paged list. First of all, it said add the code using paged list to the using statements at the top of the file. Then modify, which I already did, then modify the controller's product controller in order to use the new paged list. So we need to go to controllers, I wonder if this one is now supposed to be this iQueryable. I'm just going to comment it out because it looks like I'm getting an error because it's been in there twice. So, controllers, product controller, and up in our index routine here, which is probably up a lot higher, there it is. We need to add, all right, int page. Then down in our if statement, where we're checking for null or empty for category, right here, we need to say view model dot category equals category. Then in our switch statement that we just added previously down here, right now for the default we're just doing a break, but we want to change that so that not only are we doing a break there, but we want to say products equal products dot order by, and then a lambda expression like that. This view model is going to have to change in just a second, so let's come down here. You have to add a few lines. Const int page items equal 3, which says to me we're going to have, whoops, not con, it's const, which says to me we're going to have 3 items that we're going to show per page. We'll go over all of this in just a minute. No longer need this line. All right, but we are getting an error here. We may need to put that using statement in here as well. All right, notice it immediately ungrayed, and let's see down here. Yep, no error down there anymore. All right, now let's take a look at all of the changes that we put in here. So taking it from the top here, after our using statement, we put in this. So we added the int question mark page. That's a nullable integer. In other words, it'll represent the current page chosen by the user in the view. When the products page is first loaded, the user will not have selected any page. So in other words, that can be null. All right. We also need to ensure that the current category is saved to the view model. So we've added a line down here right there to do that. This will ensure that we can page within a category. All right. Then, as we peruse our way down and we go through this case statement that we've got in here, this is a new line right here. And that is used to set a default order of products because the page list requires the list it receives to be sorted. All right. Following that, we've got some new code here, and we changed the viewModel.products line. So we're specifying the number of items that are to appear on each page. That's the constant that we're using there, where it says const int page items equal 3. After that, we declare an integer variable, int current page equal page question mark 1, to hold the current page number, and to take the value of the page parameter, or 1 if the page is null. So in other words, if we're just starting this, we want to go to the first page. All right. The products property of the view model, as you can see, is then assigned to a page list of products specifying the current page and the number of items per page using viewModel.products equal products.pagelist, etc. Finally, the last thing that's done in there is the sort by value is now saved to the view model, and that's done so that the sort order of the products list is preserved when you move from one page to another. Let's save that right now. So the next thing that we want to do in here, that was my explanation, hopefully you found it that it sufficed, is, as it says here, we want to go in and update. So having implemented the paging code, now we need to update the views pages index.cs.html file to display a paging control so that it can move between pages. Also, we will add an indication of how many items were found. And to achieve this, we have to modify the file to add a new using statement that adds an indication of the total number of products found and display the paging links at the bottom of the page. All right. So again, we want to come in and now let's close a few things because we got a lot of stuff open here. So this is views. I think we've got the right one open, but just to be sure, I'm going to go to Views, Products, Index. All right. And after our at model statement, which tells us what we're modeling, now we want an at using paged list.mvc. Don't know why that moved over like that, but it did. There we go. All right. After our title right here, we've got our create new and all this other good stuff, but let's add another paragraph in here. And we'll put some razor code in there. So that was question mark. There's the colon. All right, found. All right, let's see what we have here. After the found, we need a paren. Which is probably why I'm getting that error. There we go. And we're going to have to add a little bit of code after our table. Now, this thing right here is indicating, just so you know, this thing with the @ sign that we just put in there. And I don't know, I'm looking to see if I lost my paren. There, my paragraph symbol. All right, there we go. Okay, so what we're doing in there, that is going to indicate to us how many products were found. All right, we're using the ternary operator, the question mark colon operator, as I've shown you right there, to check if the search item is null or made up of white space. If that's true, the output of the code will be showing all with a, XX, so with a total number of products. Otherwise, the user has entered a search term, and the output will be your search for search item found, and it'll tell you how many products. In effect, what this does is it operates as a shorthand for the if. We've used question mark colon before. The next thing that we have to do is, after the table here, we're going to put in a div. Let me just copy that because there's quite a bit of code there. All right, so going back to our book, we want to grab this right here from page 94. In fact, I'll just grab everything and I'll write right over the div. All right, so let me move these all over a bit. Again, we've got the question mark colon operator here. And I'm just going to put this down like this. It's not going to look very good, but it'll do the job, I believe. All right. So let's take a look at that code that's right there. You'll notice the code is wrapped in a div tag, and that's done for presentation purposes. The first code line again uses the question mark colon operator to decide whether or not there are any pages to display. It'll display 0 of 0 if there are none, or page X of Y, like page 3 of 5 or whatever, where X is the current page and Y is the total number of pages. All right. Then we use an HTML paged list pager helper that comes as part of the page list.mbc namespace. This takes the list of products and produces a hyperlink to each page. The URL action that you see right here is used to generate a hyperlink that targets the index view, which contains the page parameter. All right, so on the next page in our our book rather, they run this to show what it should be like. All right. So it says the search has been performed for sleeping and the results are filtered to the sleeping category. Notice page 2 of 2. And your search found 5 products. All right. So let's try the same thing here and see what happens. So let's do a save all. Since we haven't built for a while, let's build our selection. When we get done with this, we're done with the second part of the chapter, and then we'll go on to the routing. And we'll do that in the next lecture because I'm already up to 22 minutes. All right, so let's run this. All right. So this is the category here looks like is sleeping. All right. And the product and it says here we want to go from high to low. All right. And it says search products. And I actually don't think this is where I want to be. I don't want to be under the products index. I want to be under the products category. Or is that categories? Well, let's come in here and look at sleeping. All right. And from high to low and submit. Nope. Sleeping. High to low. Don't know if we want sleeping in here. All right. Notice our paging is working. They've got 2 pages. I've got 3, so I'm not sure what the issue is there. So a search has been performed for sleeping and the results are filtered, sorted from high to low. The user has moved to page 2 of the results. All right, I think the problem is I'm looking for anything with sleep in it, and that's why I'm getting 3 pages. So, search category. Well, I can try to write it the way that they've got it written up here. So category equals sleeping. And search equals sleeping. And sort by equal price highest. Oh, don't know what happened there. Priced highest. And page equal to. Good gosh. All right, I'll tell you what happened. And page equal to. The problem is the touch screen on this computer is just going nuts here for whatever reason. So that should be sleeping. That should be sleeping. This should be high to low, and let's submit. this should be sleeping. Sleeping, submit. But it's pushing that back this way. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Let's see if we shop by category. It's not what I want. All right, trying to get exactly what they're showing in the book here. So localhost products category equals sleeping. Search equals sleeping. Sort by is price highest. And page equal to. Now, to make sure I didn't make any mistakes in here, category sleeping and search equals sleeping and sort by equal price highest and page equal to. That actually looks correct. Uh-oh. A potentially dangerous request path was detected from the client. Well, in other words, it doesn't like what I just did. Products category equal sleeping and search equal sleeping and sort by equal price highest and page equal to. Well, that's according to what's in the book. Okay, so if we search products in here, let's go to sleeping. That looks better. Okay, I guess that's it. So what I should have done there is I shouldn't have done the search on there. I should have let the system do the search. So what we have is correct. All right. Now, not a lot of explanation there. Not a boatload of explanation in the book either. As you can see, this is getting more and more complex as we're going on. So when I come back in the next section here, we're going to start talking about routing. And in particular, we're going to talk about trying to route in a more friendly format. Be back with that very shortly.